Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope your day is going great, or night, or morning, whatever it is for you. I hope it's going good. I hope you didn't think I was gonna miss today's video. It might be late, but I got you guys. Today is going to be a really fun video. We're going to start off talking about fusions and the situation that happened last week with Boston Uprising's owner, Robert Kraft. It's definitely a weird and interesting one. I guess if you haven't heard about it, Robert Kraft was caught in a prostitution sting. That's a yikes for me. We will be covering the Boston Uprising situations in the first part of this video. Then moving on to the second part, we're going to be talking about Overwatch League Fantasy and Overwatch League stats, because the week 2 stats are here. They were much earlier than the week 1 stats, so we'll be checking out who's doing good, who's doing bad in week 2, and then we're going to be looking at fantasy. I know I said a few videos back that I was doing a fantasy league with me, Dividing by Zero, Bad Patch Amari, Halo of Thoughts, Vortex, just a whole bunch of random content creators, Fake Slasher, and well, simply put, guys, I have been destroying them. Yes, I have. That makes me happy because it's supposed to be a highly competitive league, even though, I don't know, I seem to be the only one taking it very seriously. But hey, we're doing the best so far, guys. I will be giving you advice on fantasy if you're involved in it. It's a fun topic. We'll be doing that at the end of the video. But now, without further ado, if you do enjoy my content, slap that like button, subscribe, and join the giveaway. I know I've been talking about it for a while now. I don't know, maybe a week, but you only have a week left. It's only open for 14 days, so if you want a chance at winning a free Overwatch League item, I have 300 of them, by the way, so there's a good chance you could win. Click that gleam.io link down below in the comments, and you could actually win an item. Trust me, it takes like a minute to enter, not even, like 10 seconds actually. But now let's jump into the video and let's cover this Robert Kraft situation. So for those of you who don't know, Robert Kraft is a multi-billionaire. The guy's loaded. He just won the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots. He's the owner of that organization. He is also the owner of the Boston Uprising. And he was like one of the first big guys to jump into the Overwatch League and say, hey, I'm buying a team. I promote Blizzard. I think this league will be amazing. Here's $20 million. And then in season 1, a lot of other sports owners followed him. Well, things haven't been going that great for him because a few days ago, he got caught up in a prostitution sting in Miami, Florida. Yes, guys, Robert Kraft, a $6 billion net worth man, was caught in a prostitution sting. So here's the story. Robert Kraft does own some property down in Miami, so he visits there sometimes. He was probably celebrating the Super Bowl victory. Well, he went to a spa and a massage parlor down there in Miami, and he asked, for the special treatment, You get what I'm talking about, and he did it twice, and he was caught. And allegedly, according to the police, he was caught on camera receiving these acts alongside like 40 other guys. So pretty much this place was like reported to the health place or health whatever. I have no idea. They were reported to somebody, and those people set up cameras there to catch whoever was going there and, doing these illegal acts. And well, Robert Kraft got caught twice apparently, and he's being charged. He has denied all the allegations, but honestly, it seems like he probably did get caught up in it, but hey, the guy's worth $6 billion. We know he ain't going to jail. He'll figure some way out of this. He is the owner of the Boston Uprising. So yeah, that's a really crazy situation. I don't know. By the way, he's like 78 years old. I mean, I guess you're never too old to, get it done. I don't know. We're kind of borderline PG with this topic, trying not to, get too wild on it. But I guess you got to do what you got to do. I did read up that his wife actually did die like a couple years ago, and they were together for like 45 years. So, I mean, if the guy's lonely, you can't blame him. It is what it is. It's a weird situation. Boston Uprising always getting themselves involved in some type of drama. Which does tie into the second story. Not really. It only ties into the second story because it involves the Boston Uprising. So pretty much when that story went down, another story unfolded in the Overwatch League, which involved Fusions, the main tank of the Boston Uprising, who, by the way, played very good in week 1 for Boston Uprising, and Boston looked like a much better team than we anticipated. They beat the Houston Outlaws, and they looked really competitive against New York Excelsior with Fusions in there. Well, going into the second week, Fusions was denied by Blizzard and the Overwatch League to play for Boston Uprising in that week because he was signed to Boston as a two-way player. Axiom and Gamsu were supposed to be the main tanks, while Fusion played for their contenders team and only came in if maybe Axiom and Gamsu both got sick. But Boston ended up trading Gamsu over to the Shanghai Dragons out of nowhere at the beginning of the season, leaving Axiom as their only main tank. Well, guess what? Color Hex was banned from the Overwatch League for 2 games, so they didn't have his Zarya, because by the way, they only signed 2 DPS players. So Axiom had to pick up the Zarya, which meant they had no main tank left, and Fusions had to come in and fill that role. Well, when you're a two-way player, you can only play in 2 Overwatch League games per season. And if you want to play more, you have to be moved up to an official contract. Well, Blizzard cracked down and they told them, hey, he's a two-way player. He already played his 2 games. He can't play this week. So Boston didn't have Fusions last week, and they lost to the Shanghai Dragons. Personally, I feel like if they did have Fusions and Axiom back in there on the Zarya, they probably could have beat Shanghai 3-2. But that didn't happen. But all is good now because Overwatch League and Boston Uprising figured it out. They did get a Fusions and Overwatch League contract, so he will be starting for the Boston Uprising as main tank again. He played really well in the first week, and in my opinion, I think they need to put Axiom back on that Zarya and maybe keep Color Hex out of there. I wasn't impressed with him, and I was really impressed with Axiom. So that's pretty much the Boston Uprising situation and drama, guys. Let's go ahead and move on now, and let's jump into some statistics for week 2 in the Overwatch League, and then some fantasy. Alright, going straight into it, we can already see there were some changes starting off with the rating category. Previously, Jonak was number 1, now he's sitting at 4th, and he was jumped by Shu, Seo Min Soo, and Nene. One thing that does surprise me is seeing Shu so high up here, even though his team is currently sitting at 1 and 2, so he's definitely been performing. But what doesn't surprise me is seeing Seo Min Soo and Nene sitting at number 1 and number 2, specifically Nene. He has been popping off, guys, pretty much number 1 or like top 10 in every good category. Specifically, let's take a look at kills per 10 minutes. Nene is sitting at 2nd. First Asaya player doesn't really matter because it's only 8 minutes of data, where we have Nene with 3 hours and then Defran with 3 hours as well. We'll take a look at the difference between Defran, Carpe, and Nene. Nene gets more kills per 10 minutes than them, but also dies more than half per 10 minutes that they do. Carpe and Defran both die over 5 times, along with Ivy, DM, every single Zarya. Nene is literally out there killing it, guys. His Zarya performance has been incredible. He's got one of the highest KDs in the league. He has the highest KD in the league, with Mako and Fury sitting behind him. It's just a massive jump. Nene is an incredible player right now, and you need to get him on your fantasy team, which, by the way, he's on mine. I knew to pick him. I knew he was going to do this. His Zarya is just nuts. Clearly the best performing player in the league overall right now. But one thing I wanted to take a look at, which we didn't take a look at in the first week, is the time to charge ultimate. And guess who charges the fastest ults in the game? We have Violet coming in from the San Francisco Shock at 64 seconds per ult, and then say a player again doesn't really count, Striker doesn't really count, only 20 minutes, and then we get players with big data. We have Shaz, that's pretty good, 73, but Violet is 9 seconds ahead of him. That's crazy. Then we have Twilight, and all the way down here, where's Jonak? Way down here at 78. He's actually behind a lot of Zenyatas. Jaehong, Shu, Izayaki, Twilight. So overall, Jonak's not charging his ult as fast as other Zenyatas, but obviously his KD is so much better, 1.48 compared to Violet's 0.4, dying a lot in that second week, which is unfortunate. San Francisco Shock did have some tough matches, though, going up against Vancouver. That was a really hard one. Overall, though, these are some interesting stats. Let's take a look at first kill. As we can see, Mako getting the first kill for his team. Gator doesn't really matter, not enough data. Save player doesn't really matter. Mako, 17% of the time he gets the first kill. That's really high. Looking at the first death, nothing really changed here. A lot of main tanks. Again, main tanks want to die a lot. They want to be the first death because they want to absorb damage for their team. Moving on now, let's take a look at ult charged per 10 minutes, because this is an interesting stat for both Zenyatas and Zaryas. Sinatra charging so many ults for a Zarya, 5.53 per 10 minutes. That's incredible. Absolutely insane. And as we can see, we got Prophet up there as well, charging 5.32 Zarya ults per 10 minutes. Also, let's remember, some of this is Brigitte ults, so he's not going to be as high because Brigittes don't charge their ults as fast as Zarya's. I do think over time, Prophet's stats are going to spike. They're already spiking. He was sitting really low because of his Brigitte and his team just getting destroyed in week 1, while they bounced back in week 2. Obviously, his Zarya play was just absolutely insane. So definitely expect Prophet's stats to spike up over the next couple weeks. And just overall, those are the stats. We got the KD, we looked at that again. Deaths per 10 minutes, you know, nothing new. A lot of main tanks up here. kills per 10 minutes, the same players, we already went over this. So yeah, that's the stats overall. Now let's go ahead and switch over and take a look at fantasy leagues. So as you guys can see here, this is the fantasy league I am competed in. It's called the Cool Kids Overwatch League Fantasy. And you can see here, these are all the people currently entered into it. We got KINGmykL, which is obviously me, 2-0 right now, sitting in first place, tied with a few guys here. We got Bad Paramachi, dividing by 0-2. Didn't do a good job drafting there, dividing. My bad, dude. So as you guys can see here, this is my team. These are my starters going into the next week. Big reason I have Zephyr starting here is because Florida Mayhem does have 2 matches going into the next week, and they're fairly easy opponents, so we can expect Florida Mayhem to have some good games. Zephyr puts up a lot of points. Envy has just been popping off. So let me tell you guys how I drafted. My first pick was supposed to be Profit. Obviously, I was like the 10th pick overall, so I had to wait through all these people to get Profit. Well, guess what? I was on my mobile drafting, and I misclicked Cool Matt, and I picked Cool Matt first over Profit. Cool Matt was my first pick, guys. Can you look at this? I will show you. How do we do this? Round 1 draft recap. 1, 2, 3, where am I? Where's KINGmykL? I was the 11th pick, guys, and I picked Cool Matt first. What? Yeah, so Carpe went first, Birdring went third. Oh, wait, no, this is how. Okay, Carpe went first, OG went second. I don't agree with that. Carpe's a good pick, but meh. Birdring third. I don't know what OVRT was thinking. Jonak, that's a good pick. 5th was Custa. Yikes. 6th was Effect. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Cutie, who is Cutie? I don't even know who Cutie is. There's a reason you're 0-2, buddy, because you just don't know how to draft. But yeah, I laughed at that. Space is a good pick. Gesture's a good pick. Fury, great pick. Bonnie, that was a good pick. Kareev's been a really good pick in fantasy. Get Kareev on your team. He's getting a lot of points. And then obviously Cool Matt, like the worst pick of all these guys. I mean, I laughed at Effect, but I picked Cool Matt first. Again, accident. Then second round went by. These guys literally let Profit slip all the way to 18th picked. So this was ideally my first pick. Moving into the third round, then I stole Nene, which I think... Oh, no, I actually got Envy. I knew I wanted to get Envy. I knew he would be a top performer, which obviously, literally one of the most points out of anybody in the entire league. So that was a steal. I knew I wanted to get Envy. I was high on Toronto. Then moving into round 4, I'm pretty sure this is where I got Nene. Actually, no, I got Big Goose. Oh, because I had to pick a support, so I had to get Big Goose. I needed a support. I couldn't get tanks anymore. Moving on to the 5th round, I think I finally got Nene. How did Nene slip to 67? These guys are nuts. I knew I wanted Nene. I got like the perfect draft, guys. Literally. Round 6, who did I get? I got Choi. Incredible pick. Obviously genius. Choi's been popping off too. Moving on to round 7, we got Moth. Great pick. He's a main support. He's going to play every single game. San Francisco Shock. Pretty decent team. He's gotten me a lot of points so far. 345. 349, more than Choi. So yeah, definitely a good performer for me so far. Almost as much as Nene. Overall though, Envy just destroying it for me with 533 points. Best pick. I knew I wanted him. Moving on to round 8. Obviously another great pick. No, 102. He's brought me 378 points. Genius pick by me again. Moving on to round number 9. I finally decided to pick up who I don't even remember. Oh, Zephyr. Zephyr was on the board. I was just looking for good off tanks at this point, and I figured Zephyr would be a decent one. He'll get me some points here and there. Guess what? Buddy's got me almost 400 already. Popping off. And then in the last round, I decided to get Slime, which again, how did Slime slip all the way down there? 264 points coming in from him. So as you guys can see, I mean, I'm killing it. I'm absolutely killing it. I had the most points overall out of all teams combined so far. I am trying to trade. Nobody signed Michelle, which I didn't expect Michelle to play too much. I thought Zunba would probably be the starter. And, well, I'm trying to trade Cool Matt for Michelle. Michelle would be a great addition to my team. I think he's got like 300 points right now. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. And, yeah, I mean, we're killing it in Fantasy League, guys. Hopefully you can use this as some tips to maybe improve your fantasy game. If you guys did enjoy this video and me covering the Fantasy League, let me know. Join the giveaway. I mean, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, night, morning, whatever it is. Love you all. Peace.